Hello everyone, Loserkiller here, and so it's time to keep on talking about our 10th and final MOC in the Abyss MOC series, or at least in the first wave of the Abyss MOC series, so it's Aynh, once again, and in the first part we talk about both legs, and so it's time to move on to the arms and also the head, because there is not really much to talk about on the arms, so I say that, well, why not also talk about the head in this video? Because the third video, which is about the body itself, will be quite long, I think. So yeah, no need to talk about the head in this one. So the arms were designed by me, unlike the legs, which were both designed by me for the left one and Shadow for the right one. And yes, once again, both sides will be different in terms of design. And we're going to start this time with the white side. And so here is how the arm look like. So yes, this part kind of moves around. It's not the best ever, but not a big problem either. So I'm not only going to talk about how the connection is made. As you can see, it's using two connectors and also some parts on the back to make the arm stronger, because like I said, when we built Aynh, we really wanted something we really wanted to build a big MOC which could be well articulated, and so we really tried to make it really had good articulations, and so that's why we, for example, took some inspiration from official Loserkiller or Hero Factory set who used better articulation to make things stronger. But still, it's not really the most interesting point ever. For the frame itself of the arm, well, it's quite simple. It's kind of like the leg in a way, because you have three parts. This one, then you have the elbow part, which is just two double-sided connector link which are used to attach both parts, and then you have the third part, and finally the hand itself. So as you can see, we can move this part like that. So once again, this was made to have really good articulations. So not just articulation which kind of blocks at 90 degrees or which blocks, excuse me, at 90 degrees or stuff like that, but really good one. Okay, and then for the rest, I don't really have, well, it's really beginning a problem. Most of the time I can block this thread on some parts, but here, not the case. Yeah. Not the best way to show off my MOC, I guess, but still. So yes, because this is kind of like the damaged/destroyed part, I choose to put some thread, as you can see here and there, to make it look like he was healing itself, or at least kind of like repairing himself in a kind of like a do-it-yourself way. So you have some other parts right there, parts here, technique panel, and at the end you have this white shield on which I mounted, as you can see, two scroll shields which are used as buzzsaw, so kind of like the ones that Naked had. This was also one idea I had from the start. I really wanted this MOC to also have a buzzsaw like Naked, so here it is. And that was, I think, quite the only concept I had before beginning to build this this white arm. Also notice the little chains, which you will see a lot of on the upper part of Aynh. So now it's time to move on to the left arm. And like the leg, it's the part that has the little Matawan scene on him, because I remind you that the idea behind Aynh was really to have a little scene with Matawan on him, like literally on the Titan itself. Yes, there is some on this left arm. And so as you can see, even if the parts used are different, even if you can see you have some similar parts, for example, this big part right there, or the Montax foot here, the frame itself is the same. So the technique beams and stuff like that, as you can see, the articulation works the same. But this time there is a real hand, so not just a buzzsaw. So real hand, as you can see, which is made out of Makuta, well, yes, Evil Matawan released in 2008. So we can move it around with no big problems, and each finger is articulated. And I put some canoes right there to make it looks like some kind of jewelry, so kind of like wings on his fingers. And I think that's quite all for the parts themselves. So now, yes, it's time to move on to the little scene. So the meaning behind this scene, I think, is quite simple. You have two Matoran which use the same body frame, but they are of different color. One is red and one is black. And obviously, it's a comment about, well, in our world, about racism and xenophobia, which obviously, most of the times, sadly, leads to war, to segregation, and stuff like that. So this little scene is all about the fear of the stranger, the fear of the different people, which in fact are the same as us. They just might be different in terms of how they look, or how they act, or what their beliefs are, for example, in terms of religion. But at the core, they are the same as us. And this scene is about that. It's about the fact that even if we are all supposed to be the same, to come from the same type of genes and stuff like that, we still keep on after all these wars, after all these decades, centuries, and I guess even millenniums. We keep on fighting each other because of different beliefs or stuff like that, or we shun each other's, or we disrespect each other because we are different, or stuff like that. So that's really this scene is a simple comment about that. It's not that complicated, I think, to understand, as you can see. And one thing I like about this little scene, this fight scene, is that when the arm is unfolded, so like that, they can't reach each other. You can, for example, put them like that, well, here, but they can't touch each other. But if you fold the arm like that, now they can fight each other and begin attacking and killing each other to death. So yeah, I kind of like that, I can say so, like this aspect, because I can really imagine that when the MOC in the storyline is alive, is walking and stuff like that, when the arm is like that, they just do not move. And when it folds, they begin attacking each other. They begin to attack each other, excuse me. And yeah, so that's all for this little scene. It's all about xenophobia and racism and stuff people do, in fact, to stop the other from existing, from going to war, to just I don't have the right word, to move sometimes, yes, to move entire ways of people from one country to another, or sometimes genocide even. So yeah, it's a comment about that, this little scene. And obviously, these scenes have ties with the real world, because I take inspiration from the real world when I created these scenes. So for example, greed, and this one all about the differences in terms of peoples, but it also has a meaning in the storyline itself, because I might remind you that the Abyss MOC series, the storyline of the Abyss MOC series, is also not really a happy one, and it's also all about kind of like gratuitous violence and what is the word? And I don't have the. And hatred, yes, and hatred. That was the word I was looking for. So you have the same type of things happening in Universcape 2 and in the Abyss MOC series, in the Abyss storyline too, because you have different type of gangs, and they are both different, and they go to war, and some of them want more powers and stuff like that. So obviously, it also ties in with the Abyss storyline, and not just with our sadly real world. Yes. So, in which our differences most of the time are solved with violence. So let's move on to the head now. So the head was not made by me. It was created entirely by Shaddow. In fact, I didn't really give him in any direction at the time. So for example, for the leg, I give him some direction, like I want the leg to be kind of like damaged and stuff like that. But for the head, it was different. It just has like he had like a free reign, free total control on it, and that's what he designed. As you can see, it's I think quite well made in terms of all the parts are put together. So with some Wenhua mask on the side, as you can see, and with the Toa brands used as eyes, and also the Montrax head, which is used as the part on the bottom of the head, which is quite nice. And as you can see, because of the shape of the Stronius armor part, you can see the eyes, you can see the orange part through the little holes. Once again, I think it's looks quite it looks quite nice, but maybe yes, I might need some more light. Excuse me. Once again, the light is not really that easy to control in this video because this is the first time I have this type of setup. So yeah, it's quite hard. So I think that's all for this video. I'm not going to make it any longer than it needs to be. Than it needs to be. I think one of my problems is that most of the time I don't take time to think my sentence through, and I happen to just say stupid things or things which do not mean anything at all. So I should really took my time when I speak English. It's just that most of the time I want to really do a quick video because, well, most people I think on YouTube prefer short videos, but while doing so and while trying to talk fast, it just makes me even more mistakes and even mispronounce words or just pronounce them with really a bad accent. So yeah, I really should try to keep things calm and easy, even if sometimes it doesn't help to find the words I'm looking for and stuff like that. But I think you understood clearly what was going on this little Matterhorn scene, maybe unlike the first one, which was a little harder to explain, even if seriously the scene for the left leg was quite simple. It was all about greed and the people wanting power at any cost at any cost at all. So yes, that was not also that hard to explain, to understand. Excuse me. So that said, it's all for part 2 of our final video for Aynh. Next up is the third part, in which we will talk about the body. It's in fact the last part of the MOC. It's also the biggest one, and also the one where is a lot to talk about because there is 4 Matterhorn scenes in it. So 2 of them do not really have any big meanings behind them, but 2 of them have. So yeah, stay tuned. So for the third part of the Aynh MOC, which might in fact take a little, which might last a little longer than this one. And that said, well, hope you enjoyed. Once again, if you have any comments or questions about what you saw right here, well, feel free to ask them in the video description. Once again, I will happily answer them. And that said, well, see you soon for the third part of our video. Bye-bye!